They're in no particular order, so we'll just run down the way I wrote them out.
Okay.
Okay, the first one I have is, how do I instill a sense of urgency in my potentials, both loyal customers and distributors?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're so anxious to get people signed up, customers and distributors, especially right now. We know that Mark's got something really cool coming for us right out of conference 2017. So we want to get as much activity going as possible. However, if we come from a place of desperation, they can sense it. It's like if we're desperate to sign them up, then they're going to sense that desperation. So we don't want to come from that place. So let's come from a place of inspiration. So how do I do that? How do I do that? Well, that's by being excited about the products yourself, continuing to touch base with them and saying, look, you said that you were really interested in XYZ product, and it's the 1st of January. Let's take care of that order right now. One thing that Christina Watts said on a Zoom, and that Zoom was put on, let's see, I want to make sure before I say it, but yeah, that Zoom was on my timeline last Monday. I'm pretty sure it was last Monday that we put that Zoom on. And in the comments section are all kinds of scripts. So go back, everybody, and look at that. Look at those scripts, because she gave you scripts that she uses to get people off the fence, both customers and distributors. And she point blank ask them. And that's what I tell everybody. You've got to ask. You've got to say, are you ready to place the order? If you're ready, let's do it right now. Let's do it right now and make that assumptive close. A lot of you, what you're doing is you're being wishy-washy about it, and you're avoiding that question, that last question of, are you ready to get started? Let's do it right now. Or however you feel confident, and you use your verbiage, but make it listen, let's sign you up tonight. We're both on the phone. We can get on the computer together, and we can make this happen. And that's what I would do. I would just get it done. Don't be wishy-washy about the closing question. Look, they all want it. They just need that nudge, that soft little nudge. And I tell everybody, we love to buy, but we don't want to be sold. So if they've told you they want products, if they've told you that they want to be a part of It Works, ask them, hey, are you ready to get started right now? Because I'm ready to train you. I'm ready to train you. We've got something great coming up in February, and we want to get a head start of this. That's what I would do.
Awesome.
Okay, what's your next question?
Next question. I'm posting and messaging, but no one is responding. What do I do?
Okay, posting and messaging. You've got to ask them. I would, if you know them, if you have their phone number, call them. Posting something on Facebook is not asking. That's like an advertisement. That's like someone seeing a commercial, and at that moment that the commercial comes through, they're just not interested. The kids are running around. They're thinking about something else. They might be like looking at it at work, and so they're not focused on what you say. And unfortunately, we think everyone sees our posts, which very few people do. Now, what we all know is people are seeing our live events when we go live on Facebook. So think about doing more of those. I don't care how scared you are. None of us like it, but we do it anyway. So do more lives, it can be brief. It can be just a couple minutes. Talk about how excited you are about the new shake, or how excited you are about the new year, how excited you are about this product or that product. And don't think that they're not watching, because they are. The person that is going to rock and roll your business may not ever comment or like one thing that you do. And that's happened with me and every other leader out there. every leader out there. All of a sudden, someone comes in and says, hey, I've been watching you for a year and a half. I want to join your team. So continue to post. Be very consistent with your posts, 2 to 3 posts a day, go live. And then when someone does comment, go behind the scenes, private message them and say, hey, I know you've commented a couple times. I want to make sure that I'm taking care of you. If you're interested in purchasing the products or taking a look at the opportunity, which one is it? And give them that choice. Don't give an open-ended question, but give them that choice.
I love it. Okay, what is your best response when someone says, I can't afford it, or when there's no response at all?
Well, all right, so here's a couple things going on. A lot of times when people say, I can't afford it, that's the easiest thing for us to say. I just can't afford it. I just don't want to do that right now. It's not in our budget. That's an easy thing to say. So here's the next question. If you could afford it, would you come on board? If you could afford it, would you join me? And they get really quiet. Don't say anything else after that. I don't care if there's a minute between that question and the next thing that they say, because the first thing that they tell you is never the thing. Usually the second thing they tell you is never the thing. So if they say, well, I have to talk to my husband. Great. Let me ask you something. If your husband says yes, which I'm sure he will because he supports you, right? And they'll go, oh, yeah. If your husband says yes, are you ready to join right now? Because we could call them together if you want. Do you want to text them right now while I'm on the phone? Yeah, when are you going to talk to them? I think that I remember the first time I ever got invited to look at network marketing. This guy was like, he was on me every other day. He was calling me, voicemail. We didn't have text or anything back in the day. This was in 1994. And it took him a couple of times to get me to go to a meeting. But he was persistent and consistent. And I'm telling you, I would not be here today if he wasn't. So don't think you're bugging people. They need that soft little nudge. We all do. You remember when you hadn't heard about it at work, and then all of a sudden it comes into your life. A lot of us we weren't all in at that moment. It took that nudge. So ask them, what would it take? I want you on my team. What would it take? Oh, I can't afford it. If you could afford it, would you join today? Stop talking. Listen to what they say. And if they say, absolutely, okay, then what do you have? You want to do a yard sale? I'll help you. Do you have anything that you can, for $99, that you can consign? Whatever, can you pre-sell wraps? I can help you do that. So there's ways around that if they really want to join. Always.
I love it. What is the best thing to do when there's no response at all?
When there's no response at all, then there's no response. And, what can you do if somebody's not responding? I say just put them down on your list of non-responders, and then every once in a while when their name pops in your brain, say, hey, I was thinking about you today. Are you still open to taking a look at It Works? And that's how I would respond to that.
Awesome. A lot of us have downline team members who have been discouraged by this lack of response. How best can we as leaders encourage them?
The best thing that you can do is just get them into more activity. It's just all about activity. I made a great post this morning, and it was about asking, and we're just not doing enough of that. You should have a legal size pad, just like I do right here, a legal size pad, and it should be full of names. Megan Baker was on that Zoom, and she has multiple pads going. Some all new people, others first response, second response, third response, and then LCs. So keep a running list of people so that you don't feel like you're slacking in inventory, and your inventory or your names. And a lot of times we're relying on the same 2 or 3 people all the time, and you need more people than that. I mean, those 2 or 3 they may tell you all the time, I'm going to join, and they may never do that. And because you're so focused on them and them alone, there's millions of others out here that you're not even taking a look at or even open or aware that they're there. That new distributor may live next door to you and you haven't asked to a party. So you've got to get into action, get them into action, not just sitting there waiting. No one, I love this story. The guy that came up with Smart Water, he said that he slept through the streets of New York in the dead of winter, and then in the rain in the spring, and all through the heat in the summer, and then the fall, and then he starts over again in the winter, slept through the streets of New York, putting 1 or 2 waters for free in little markets. If you've ever been to New York, they're on every corner, those little markets. And finally, it starts taking off. But it took a long time. And see, we have to do the same thing. My business could have been associated in the beginning of this, as you could call it crickets. It's like for 5 years, it seemed like nobody was really that interested. And I'm the first rap girl out there rapping people. And I just knew that it would take time. I just knew that I needed to be consistent. And I didn't rely on 1 or 2 people to make my business happen. I just kept asking and kept asking and asking. So keep blitzing, keep asking, keep building that inventory of names. And also about your team pretty much goes by your speed. So don't expect your team to do things you're not willing to do. And that's a big lesson. Your team is not going to step up to the plate if you haven't stepped up to the plate. So take that action yourself, and then your team, some of them, not all of them, will start to follow.
Awesome. Here's a good follow-up to that one. How do you stay motivated?
Okay. No one, we've got to get rid of that word motivated. Motivated is like trying to drive something that's not really there. It's trying to push something into motion. When what we want to do is be inspired. Try to motivate your kids to clean their room. Forget it. Try to motivate them to do really anything. If you can get them to do it, it's half done, or it's crying and whining all along the way. Even if you bribe them, it still doesn't work. So we've got to inspire our team. And the only way to inspire them is by our own personal actions. And then also giving them kudos all along the way. If someone on your team gets a customer, let everybody know that. Congratulate them, and I would also always look for what you're wanting people to do and reward those that are doing it. If it's one customer, if it's a new distributor, if somebody blitzes for the first time, put that up on Facebook, because the majority of all of us, especially women, we love recognition. Absolutely love it. And be vulnerable too. Let people know, this is scary for me to be out here blitzing, but I'm going to do it because this is what I want. And I want to go from here to here. And in order to do that, I've got to do some of the things that I don't really particularly like to do. I'm a little afraid of them, but I'm willing to do it because I want to go from here to here. So let them see you doing the activities that you want them to do. Think about yourself. Bethany, when you think about being inspired, it's by somebody's story, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. If I don't call up you. I don't call you up and say, are you motivated?
Right.
I mean, that wouldn't do anything for you. Are you motivated? How can I motivate you? You'd be going, what? No, I mean, seriously, you could dangle something in front of them, and that might drive them for a little while, but it's fleeting. As soon as they get a no or something, they're like deflated. So we've got to get them hearing stories. And the best way for that is everybody coming to 1/2017. I mean, my gosh, if you don't get inspired at 1/2017, there's we all walk out of there with thrill bumps ready to rock the world, and it lasts us a long time. So we've got to get to these one team, one missions, and definitely get inspired through people's stories. All right, great question. What's next?
Okay, here's a good one with a little heart behind it. What would you do if your best friend of 30 plus years just won't get behind your business? She signed as an LC but complained about every single product she ever tried, and she constantly makes smarmy comments about the products or my It Works gear.
I think you need a new best friend. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. You know, this is fun because in the beginning, even my sister-in-law, she was just so negative and nasty. And it took them a long time for them to even acknowledge what I'm doing. A long, long time. And about 2 years ago, we were having breakfast, my husband and I, and his brother and his wife. And they finally did. My husband goes to the bathroom, and they finally said, you know what, we're really proud of you and what you've done. And I almost fell off my seat. And because it was just totally unexpected and very different from all the things that they said in the past. I just kept staying the course. You know, the thing is, I know what I want and who I am and what I'm after. And that friend, any friend that does that is just a jealous friend. That's all it is. There's something there that they're worried that you're going to make it and you're going to leave them behind. So why don't you do it? Why don't you make it? And I guess what will eventually happen is they'll either come along with you, that it'll just drive them crazy. And we've had this happen with sisters. A sister joins, the other sister's like laughing at them behind their back, saying things to their family. And then eventually that sister can't stand it because this sister made it and made it happen. So don't allow them to get in your head. They're really trying hard, and you just might have to remove yourself from them for quite a while and make this thing work. And that's all I can say about that. I just don't allow people in my life to talk that way to me. Yeah.
Okay. I cannot seem to sign a distributor who stays. I lost executive in the fall, and I feel like I'm starting over from scratch. I know I need to get over myself, but how do I do that when I'm afraid of hearing yet another no?
All right, so let's be very frank here. All right, so you were in the fall executive. Why aren't you Ruby with brand new people? I mean, or Diamond. Think about it. You've had plenty of time. You're still thinking about the two that left, the 2 or 3 that left. And, you know, I don't have anyone on that original team from 2001. They're not here today. None of them. There's 3,000 plus. None of them are in the business. And a lot of you probably go, oh my God, what happened? People quit. I mean, let's be frank. None of us have said anything different. Just don't let it be you. Just don't let it be you. So continue to add new people. Here's one thing I want all of you to do. This is very, very important. I want you to write down what you do want and quit talking about what you don't want. You don't want people to quit. You want to keep talking about the 2 or 3 that did. You can't control somebody quitting. That's out of your control. Just like you can't try to control your own kids. It's impossible. They have their own mind. We don't want to control anybody. All we can do is look at ourselves and continue to build and continue to add people. And yes, that's what you need to get over is people quitting, because they do, and continue to add new people, and you stay on board, and you're going to start bringing in ones that actually do the work, because you're doing the work and you're not quitting and you're putting forth the effort. So that's what I would do. Never look back. Homework. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And when you find yourself going back in the past, which is just regurgitating the past for right now and the future, you want the future to be everybody on your team quit because you're still talking about being an executive and it didn't happen. Well, every ambassador has lost rank at one time or the other, and they don't use the word rebuild. They're continuing to build, just continuing to build. Yeah, perfect question. Thank you.
Okay, it's so weird that I can step outside of my comfort zone for activities with my kids or teens, and I can be out front and crazy excited, but put me around adults and my stuttering comes back and I get tongue-tied. Can you help me get over myself?
You know, I was extremely shy growing up, and I went to college, and I thought, wow, nobody knows me. No one here really knows me. I might run into one or two people that I might know from high school. So it's a fresh start. It's a fresh start. And I just quit turning red. I'm like, I'm just not going to be shy anymore. I'm going to be outgoing Pam and not shy Pam. So I reinvented myself, and it's possible every single day. Now, you can have fun with this too. You can go up and blitz someone, and you can start stuttering, and you could just say, hey, I'm stuttering because I'm so nervous, but I want to give you this coupon. And just tell them like it is. And don't think that everyone's looking at you and judging you. You know, they said I'm close to turning 60, and they said when you're that age, you suddenly don't care what people think. And it's so true. Because they're not even thinking about you. They're not. If you go up and blitz somebody and you're stuttering for 1/2 a second, when they walk off, they're thinking about, wow, that girl was nervous. And then they forget it. You know, let it be endearing. Let it be, go out and stutter to the world. And we had the UK had a king that stuttered. He was still a fabulous king. So just keep talking, keep turning red, keep stuttering, but keep doing it. And know that eventually all of that will fall apart, especially as that comma in the check and the digits to the left start growing. And then it's powerful, powerful.
Okay, what do you do when you find that you're having a hard time finding the right people to share with and to sell to?
Okay, great question. You have to be the right people. You have to be the right person. Here's another homework assignment. Write down all the qualities of the people that you would like on your team. You want them inspired? Yeah. Full on action, driven, self-motivated, purchase product, customer gathering machine, distributor gathering machine, all in. Just, again, a whole list all the way down the page, all the way down the other side of attributes of the people you want in your business. And then every day, look at that list and you become that list. You become that person. And then here they come. Here they come, here they come, here they come. And if you're still sitting back here talking about all the ones that quit, you're just going to keep getting more quitters. And you're going to end up quitting too. When people say, I'm not going to quit, I'm like, you've already quit. You're saying it. You're talking yourself back into staying. Don't do that. Just go. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Stay there. Stay there. And the better you get, the better you get, the better you get, the more confident you get, the more attributes that you become. Here come all the people that match all of those.
Awesome. Okay. I want to grow my business and I believe in our products and that they work, but I'm overly sensitive about speaking my truth to people. I don't post about my commissions because I bring in so little. I believe you can make great money, but I've never even made enough to cover my auto ship or my website fee ever. So I'm hesitant to say I'm excited. What do I do?
You say you're excited because we're here to dream and create. That's what we're here for. What do you think I did? I didn't live in this house that I live in now. We just moved here into a new home 5 years ago. So for almost 11 years, I'm living in the same house that I lived in when I found the product. But I'm telling people, hey, I'm building my dream home. It's in my mind right now, but it's going to happen. Everybody does this. Everyone. The guy who schlepped through the streets with smart water, he was already way over here seeing millions of bottles of smart water being sold when he was still giving away 2 at a time to a market, or he wouldn't have done it. See, we're all dreaming and walking in faith. I mean, Jesus taught us that. Asking it is given. It's already given to you, but right now you're building that foundation. And no one deserves the right to ask you what your commissions are. You need to get over that. Whose right is it? How much are you making? Well, when you show me your check, your 1099 or your W-2, I'll show you mine. That was always my response on that. Well, what are you making? Show me what you made last year. It shut them up like that. So they don't have the right to ask us that. You're going after in the beginning that average income of where you see yourself at. If it's diamond, say this is where I'm going. Well, are you there yet? No, I'm going. I'm working my business towards this. And so we just have to be confident in that and just spread that out there like that and know that that's going to happen. I remember when Stephanie Dunn was a Ruby standing in the back of the room, speaking forth, ambassador, speaking it out. And you could see it all over her. I'm not surprised she is where she is. Everyone in life does that. Muhammad Ali was so awesome at it. The fighter, the boxer, he was the best. He told himself that, and he told everyone else that when he wasn't the best at that time. But he called it out, and people became fearful of that. People believed him because he believed so much in himself. I'm telling you what, I knew from day one this product would make us millions. I knew it. I knew everyone would want it. And it took 5 years for that to start happening. Are you willing to do that? You don't have to wait that long because we've built such a solid foundation for you. So live off someone else's story for a while. Whoever your upline is, tell those stories. And if anyone says anything negative to you, I want you to think about this. They're only speaking back the truth of what you really think. I want you to think about that. Whatever comments you're getting, I want you to step back and think, why did I get that? I must be thinking that, and go to work on that. Go to work on that. That's like an angel telling you something. I was told that a long time ago, or it really couldn't be in our space. Oh, so do these products really work? If somebody's saying that to you, well, what part of you doesn't believe that they really work? Now, you're still going to hear that along the way, but it's not going to rub you wrong. Whereas now in the beginning, it kind of rubs us wrong. Well, how much are you making? Well, the reason I don't get asked that ever. And I'll tell you why, because I walked in millionaire faith way before I was even a thousandaire or a hundredaire. And that's what we have to do. We've been taught that all of our lives. If we have been in any kind of self-empowerment, self-development, and I would highly recommend all of you start reading and listening to books. The Magic of Thinking Big is a great book to start with. a great book, The Magic of Thinking Big. Get that book and read it, or buy the audio and listen to it. All right, great.
What do you do when somebody says you're too obsessed with the black, green, and bling and it works?
Daggone right, baby. I am. I love it. Shoot, yeah. You're going to see me wearing more of it. I might bling out my car and start laughing. Hey, it's no different than people get crazy over football teams. Why don't we get crazy over our business? Hey, we're excited. You know what? They're not. And they're like jealous of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everything I have in my closet has something of our colors in it, or I just feel weird wearing it. I wore red at Christmas. I'm like, this is so weird. I love it. I love it. We've got, you know, what I love about what we do, every darn thing, it gives us life. It's so much fun to get up in the morning and have something to look forward to be proud to wear a t-shirt, black, green, and bling. And you know what? Say, hey, why don't you let me get you a t-shirt and you wear it for me, and you can help me advertise my business. If you don't like it so much, I'll be glad to offer that to you. Oh, we all got to lighten up and have more fun, don't we?
Yes, I love it.
Lighten up and have more fun.
Okay, is there a better time to follow up with people, or is there like certain times for certain types of people? What do you think?
No, just do it. You know, all right, so you got to be thinking about it. All right, somebody calls you about something and you just broke a dish, bad mood, or the kids are screaming. So don't always take it personal what they say to you, or you're following up and they just had a crap day and they're taking it out on us. So we've got to be very aware of that too. We don't know how we're catching them. So don't take it personal. I never have taken it. I've had everything that you've had done to you in this business, I've had done 1,000 to 10,000 more times. So that makes me being able to sit here in utter confidence and saying, nothing killed me. I'm still alive, and I'm happier than I've ever been. We have more coming into this family and more being able to go out. It is thrilling. I've had the life of a rock star, and you can do it too. You just got to get over all these fears and limitations that you've put up on yourself. That's the bottom line.
Okay, so now that we're fearless, how do we keep ourselves from oversharing when we're sharing the business?
All right, that's just being conscious. You know, I've been listening to Gary Vaynerchuk, and he has a Gary VEE on YouTube, and he has a podcast. And he took his father's wine business, a brick and mortar business, from $3 million to online sales to $60 million back many years ago. And yes, and then he's just fine-tuned himself, and now he coaches and teaches people about social media. And you know, I'm sorry, what was that question? I got sidetracked.
How do you avoid oversharing?
What was the question again?
How do you avoid oversharing?
So one of the things he talked about for last year and this year, he said, is self-awareness. And this is one thing I've worked on probably most of my life, is just being very aware of my thoughts and those around me. And that's why I always say, when you hand someone a Blitz card, you want to know that more than likely is their first exposure to It Works. Or when you show something on your news feed, something on Instagram, might be their first exposure. So less is more. We're just dripping on them. People need 7 to 8 exposures before they're even thinking about buying anything in life. Not just It Works, but anything new, anything different. So when I blitz someone, I'll say, have you tried that crazy wrap? Or here, I'd like to offer you a coupon for my product. I hand it to them, and I give them the opportunity to take a look at it, to actually read it. And I'm just standing there. I don't say another word until they say something first. Well, what is it? And then I point and read exactly what's on the card, step back, let them get a brain cell for it. That's what I call it. Let them get a brain cell for it. Think about this. When the Indians, when John Smith first landed, he was going to, build that colony, first came up in his boat, the Indians on the shore could not see the boats. They're right there offshore. They could not see them. But what they saw were funny ripples in the water. So the shaman, the medicine man, the chief tribesman, finally, after many, many days of focus, made out the ship. The ship's right out there. Finally made it out, and then told all the other tribes people about it. But it took them a long time to convince them to even believe that it was there. Now, that's called not having a brain cell for that. They'd never seen a ship. They'd never seen white men at all. Think that we can automatically go up to some product they've never seen, and they're supposed to get it. And then all we're doing is regurgitating and throwing up on them. It's just too much. It's information overload, which we've all had anyway, way too much of. So we need to step back, say a few words, let them get it in their brain, run it around a little bit, digest it, and some will just walk away. Others will start continuing to ask questions. And when they ask, well, what's in it? Well, hey, let me send you the entire product list. What's your email? Or what's your Facebook? Or is text the best way? And that's when you get their information, because you're not going to sit there and tell them unless you pull out a package and say, this is everything that's in it, which I've done that all along the way. So that's what I would do. Stop, say something, stop, listen, let them respond, say something more, and be excited, be energized, but don't be just totally out of character. Because if you're out of character with people, they sense a fakeness, and that's what they're feeling, even though you're overly excited.
Awesome. Okay, so we talk a lot about, putting your goals out there so you can work toward it. What do we do when haters start picking on us for not reaching that goal that we just put out there?
Again, don't listen to that stuff. I mean, why do you have haters? I just don't understand that. Let's stop talking about haters. Let's just stop talking about them for 2017. Believe me, they're not haters. I mean, there's just not that many people out there that are haters. And if you have a lot of those in your life, who are you hating on? What does your news feed look like? That's what I would like to know. I just don't, I might have had a few people that said some things, but if you don't respond and get all worked up over it, they go away. They just slide out. Get up in the morning and rant about how many people love you, how many people care about you, how many people are looking at your post. I have so many people looking at my post. Oh my gosh, do you know how many people are looking at my post? And I have new distributors coming in all the time and new customers coming in all the time. That's what's happening in my business. And all you're doing is calling it out in faith, and then watch, here they come. Instead of, if I post something, I'm going to have a hater. Well, yep, you are. That's exactly what's going to happen. So just unfollow them, block them, do whatever it takes to get them out of your feed and out of your life. Absolutely.
Love it. Okay, all of these distributors we're speaking into our business because we're so excited and we're bringing them in. What is the best way to set them up to succeed?
Wow, you want to get them 4 customers. You want to take them through the steps to success. Keep it simple. Bring that sheet out. that worksheet and say, this is where we're going. On the back of it, start making the list of everybody you know. Help them with launch with a wrap party. And if you're not there, you can do a Zoom and Zoom into their house. It's the best way I know to get customers. And believe me, wrap parties are still alive and well and working. And I'm going to have a Zoom coming up about wrap parties you're going to want to listen to. That should be going out maybe, I think, tomorrow. It will be coming out this week. So get them started on gathering those customers. One, so you get paid. You want to get your fast start bonus. Absolutely. They need 2 customers. And then every 2 customers they get wrap rewards, more product. And then they want 4 loyals so that they can qualify for Ruby. And that's our goal, is to keep the, hey, my goal is to help you become successful. So what we do, we opt in for ADBV auto ship. Now let's gather 4 loyal customers. Who do you have the most influence over? Is that your mom, your sister, your best friend? Let's get them all. Everyone in my family should be on the greens. Let's get everybody on the greens and trying the wrap. Let's do that. So, and then help them with their posting and just guide them all along the way. And if you're not sure how to do that, then get with your upline and learn it. This is an independent distributorship business, and we are responsible as a sponsor to help people get a jump start, a kick start, but we're not there to build their business for them. They're independent. It's just like we don't want to be bathing our children at age 16. We want to teach them really early how to take care of themselves.
Awesome. Okay. My life hit a rough spot. What is the best way for me to get restarted with It Works?
Just start. You know, there is no restart. Just start. Just go. Just start. Don't think of it as a restart. You've already learned a lot. Start with even more start than you started before. Just start. Just go. Don't think, well, what are people going to think? You know what? They're not thinking about you. I promise you. Oh, looks like she's doing It Works again. And then they're off doing their own thing. So just start. Just start, just start, just start. All right, we have time for one more. What's your most valuable question there?
How do we battle the comparison trap?
Okay, stop doing it. You know, quit looking around. Stay focused. Again, what do you want? This is, I have ambassador diamonds that came up out of getting that position. And then they started looking around and comparing themselves with each other. And their business started to go sideways and then backwards because of that comparison. It will take you out faster than anything. We can always find somebody that's doing more than we are. We can always find somebody cuter. We can always find someone with more money, more talent. I mean, they're out there. They're everywhere. They're all over the place. I don't look at that. I don't get up every day and look at and see what other companies are doing and compare our company against that company. I don't do that. I want you to look at each other with inspiration. I want you to look around and say, that girl inspires me. I'm going to follow her because of the inspiration that I get from her. Not comparing yourself against her. Be inspired by her actions. That is self-development and something that you've got to work on, or you'll be comparing yourself all your life and you're never going to be happy with who you are. And that's just something that we learn early on in life, and we've got to stop doing it, because it will eat you up faster than anything, and it will tear you down faster than anything. So work on that. Start developing your mind. Start listening and reading the right things, and stay focused, laser focused on what you do want and not on what you don't want. And I can assure you, every one of our ambassador diamonds and black diamonds are all uniquely different. They all built differently. They all teach differently, and it works for every single one of them because they stayed in their gifts, and they stayed in their lane, and they stayed focused. And when they deviated from that, everything started to not work because they got out of sync with themselves. And that's the problem, is a lot of you are doing that, and you don't realize you're doing it, but you don't feel good when you compare. And when you don't feel good, you need to be aware of, hey, I'm not feeling good about this. That means it's not right for you. That's all that's telling you. You're telling yourself, this doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel right. I want to be inspired. I'm going to go watch somebody that inspires the heck out of me. This person just is crazy inspirational. You know, a lot of us have been through a lot in our lives, and our lives can look very, very good on our newsreel through Facebook and Instagram. But I can assure you, behind that, there's a lot of life going on. So do not compare yourself with anyone, because you're probably better off being who you are and seriously living your own life to its fullest. So what I would recommend as we end this Zoom is for all of you to decide what you want. Stay laser focused on that. Stay in your lane. Use your specific gifts and talents that God has given you, and you know what they are, and do those, because you can't do this wrong. This business is about asking, and that's all it is. And you can't say the wrong thing to the right person, and you can't say the right thing to the wrong person. They're just not ready to listen. That's all there is to it. But you put a little bug in their ear. You planted a little seed, and that's what's amazing. So thank you, Bethany, for putting this together. You are awesome.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Well, we're going to get the recording out to you so that you can give it to those that couldn't listen. But thanks for being a part of It Works Global. All of you that are here tonight, I'll do a gallery view again. Give me a thumbs up if you're going after it. Give me a thumbs up if you're going after it. Give me 2 thumbs up if you're really going after it. Woo! I love it. All right, let me go to the next page. I want to see it on the next page. All right, let me see the thumbs up. All right, we're going after it. All right,
I love it.
All right, guys, we'll see ya.
Thank you so much.
Come join us on the call. We're going to be talking about the shake, the new shake with Dr. Don Holtz. Love you guys. Bye-bye.